Hey, what is up guys, this is me, Johnny Cooper64 here with another YouTube video, and welcome to my part 4 of my Crash Bandicoot and Sane Trilogy Let's Plays on Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped. Let's start off with Fixinator 5, yeah, is it Fixinator? I think it is. Well, you know, this name is actually like a reference to the one of the Terminator franchise movies. Not confirmed, but it is more likely since, you know, both of them, you know, really share the exact same name, and, you know, involvement into like the series and stuff like that for the Terminator. Now, I do love how Dingo Dao is there as like a painting in the wall, and over here we have Engine, and they really took an advantage of how, you know, how fat he is, and they made his belly like stick out or something. You know, that's pretty weird in my opinion. Don't know why they did that. Fat shaming, I guess. But I guess, you know, that's how Naughty Dog rolled. You know, I think that was in the original, of course. But you know, as far as how time travel goes and stuff like that, I say that Dr. Cortex is slowly succeeding on taking over the world because. Since, you know, we're going back in time, and, you know, Dr. Cortex doesn't exist in, you know, in the past, because, you know, we all die of age, of course. So obviously he already succeeded on taking over the world, or at least changing the past and making it his own image. Because, you know, why would we be seeing, you know, Dingo Dao and, you know, the lab assistants, Dr. Cortex, and, you know, Dingo Dao, Dr. Engine, you know, type of thing. Ooh. Aww, Crash is really scared. I don't know why that's a death animation though. Like, clearly Crash didn't die, you know. He didn't die. He didn't die. Also, I do love the chemistry, or not chemistry, because I mean, obviously, Crash really doesn't have much chemistry in, you know, how things go, due to like the limited cutscenes and stuff like that. But I do love how Dr. Cortex and Dr. Entropy kind of like really hate each other in a way. Like, you know, they have to work with each other, but obviously they don't have to like it. Kind of like, you know, that little reference to like Twin Sanity. How like Crash and Cortex have to work to each other even if they don't like it. You know, that's obviously with Dr. Cortex and Entropy, because, you know, you can kind of see how Entropy rolled his eyes when he said Dr. Cortex, because he was like Uka Uka, and then, you know, after he said Uka Uka and he said Dr. Cortex, you know, he obviously doesn't like Dr. Cortex, and he doesn't love how, you know, he's also kind of, you know, giving Entropy the commands. Because, you know, he rolls his eyes, and he doesn't really do that in the original. So I love how, you know, Vicarious Visions did really add amount of detail, and you know, in the cutscenes, and the amount of animations, and the amount of how the characters look, and how they kind of like interact, and, you know, kind of how, I don't know how to say this, but it adds personality to their character. And of course this will affect, you know, future games, and it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Now we're gonna be going to Bye Bye Blins. Now, of course, in the original, we have Coco being as the being in the Pura level, and then, you know, her appearing as the jet ski levels, and now she has her other vehicle level, which is the airplanes. Now, in the original, I guess they didn't really have like they didn't really have a level where you get to play as Coco only, you know, without any vehicle level. So yeah, and we can't change Crash in this level, I think. Like, what's it called? Because I know in the other level in Insane Trilogy they changed it, which, you know. There's like another level where you can only play as Crash in the original, but, you know, in Insane Trilogy you can play as Coco as well. So in this one you can't play as Crash, which is pretty weird. Feminism, man, feminism at its finest. But I'm joking. Now, you know, the level is, I guess, is possibly like a play on words, or, you know, a phrase to a play called Bye Bye Birdie. Back in how do I say this? 1958, if I'm not mistaken. Ooh, and I got the purple crystal. Hell yeah, yo. the bye-bye part is possibly like a reference to how, Coco was like shooting down the airplanes or in the blimps as well. And also what I noticed is how, like, in the Wrath of Cortex, the little airplanes, because in Warped the airplanes are controlled by lab assistants, but in Wrath of Cortex it is being controlled by the boss battles, or like the main, like the bosses, I guess, which is pretty weird because if they get shot down, then they're obviously gonna die. Alright, let's go to Jet Ski Tell No Tales, which again we're gonna be playing as Coco Bandicoot, because you gotta tell no tales, man. Oh, I love engine.
Crash Bandicoot, we meet again. Ooka Ooka and Dr. Cortex want me to teach you a lesson. Well, I made a few marvelous...
Oh, and that's the part a lot of people were pointing out. I know a friend that kind of cringed at the part where there's like the bald spot, and I'm not gonna lie, I really don't like that bald spot, but I guess it kind of, because in the original he also, it was kind of bald in the back area, but it seemed really weird and stuff like that. And I do add, I do love the little detail where like his rocket is kind of like moving and stuff like that. Also, I do wish they kind of may explore Engine's backstory and Embryo's backstory as well, or kind of like that little in between Crash 1 and Crash 2. Because, I do want to know what happened, with Dr. Cortex and Embryo. I think it is explained in Mind Over Mutant. Because in Crash 2, they never really explained it. They only showed how Embryo was like enemies with Dr. Cortex and stuff like that, if I'm not mistaken. And I think like in a future Crash game, they can kind of show how, they both split ways and stuff like that, and how Engine is introduced. And, little cutscene, a little funny cutscene and stuff like that they could add, future later on. And also, what I'll love to see is how freaking the little rocket landed on what's called Engine's head. Like, how did he land? How is that rocket in the freaking Engine's head? Anyways, let me actually tell you guys on how I got Crash Bandicoot Warped. Now, back in kindergarten, I think. Well, yeah, back in kindergarten is where I actually got Crash Bandicoot Warped. Because I first got, oh shoot, damn it, died. Anyways, I first got, my first Crash game is obviously Wrath of Cortex, but like the first game I actually played is Crash 1, and I didn't really get Crash 1 until like years later. Like, that's like the last Crash game I had to collect, and even though it's like the first game I really played, but it's not like, I only played the demo but not the full game. Crash 2, I played it before Warped, but I never really got the game until like second grade. So yeah, kindergarten is where I got it, and I know it because as the time I entered school and stuff like that the first time, and it's where like I met a lot of friends, and obviously one of my friends gave me this, and it was actually one of my neighbors, but I didn't really get to know them until I went to school, and turned out to be one of my neighbors, and it was actually we became really close friends, then it kind of went a bit further than that, so basically I went over to my neighbor's house, which later I guess became my girlfriend. So so yeah, I went to her house, and her dad actually had Crash Bandicoot Warped. He owned the copy of Crash Bandicoot Warped, obviously with no cover. Crash. Alright, come on, got to go over. So obviously, as I was saying, her father had Crash Bandicoot Warped. Didn't have a console to play it as, because I guess his PS1 broke. Obviously his father had like Super Mario cards and stuff like that, so obviously he was like a Nintendo fan and stuff like that. I guess he didn't really like PlayStation, so she saw how I really loved the Crash Bandicoot and stuff like that. We played Crash Bandicoot, Wrath of Cortex together, and Twinsanity, Crash 2, not Crash 2, games, Crash related stuff like that, Crash Tag Team Racing and stuff like that. And so, so I went to her house, and she showed me the copy of Crash Bandicoot Warped, and the cover was like, the disc is gray. It wasn't like really like full color, you can say. How like some discs are, disc are different and stuff like that. So she told me, here you go, you keep it. This is like a present, I guess like a 1 year relationship type of thing, that we had. So I get to keep it, and it's actually the first game I ever owned from the original trilogy, of course. So that's how I got Crash Bandicoot Warped. Pretty amazing, have to give a huge thanks to her for, without her I won't have been able to, get Crash Bandicoot Warped. And I didn't really hear about Crash Bandicoot Warped on like, how I heard about Crash Bandicoot 1 and Crash Bandicoot 2. So, getting to play as this is really amazing. I love how, like it kind of introduced me to new things, I guess you can say. And I do love how it is technically my real first Crash in the original that I really owned. So special thanks to her. I still have the copy, and that's like the only copy of Warped I have. So that's pretty cool. That's something, top 10 facts that you know about Johnny Cooper 64. And I got Crash Bandicoot 2 by my boy Epic888. I still have it. That's like the only copy I have as well. And also Entertainment, which is like the only game I actually bought from the original trilogy, instead of it being given to me, because I had everything given to me on a goddamn silver platter, which is a reference to Uncharted for our final boss battle. Also, we're here with the first futuristic level of Crash Bandicoot Warped. We get to play we get to play in the past, with the whole desert, medieval, Asian, and type of levels. Now we get to be in the futuristic levels. What's funny is that this warp room, with the Doctor Engine, is like the warp room that has like way more futuristic levels than the other warp room, which is I guess based off the futuristic, and that one only has like one futuristic level. That's pretty funny. They call it did the little switcheroo and change it, and we are done with this level. Holy hell, absolutely amazing. But I do love this levels futuristics. Gone Tomorrow. Now, also, like, during the reflection parts, what's called, they only show, like, a reflection of Crash Bandicoot, because, it's really easy to kind of, like, show Crash. But, if you had Aku Aku, he didn't really appear in the, he basically didn't appear, in the reflection, so it was only Crash Bandicoot. And, even if you had like invincibility, with like Aku Aku being in your face, he still won't appear. But in Sane Trilogy, with new, with advanced technology, obviously they fixed that, and it has Aku Aku in there, reflection and everything, invincibility and stuff like that. So Tomb Raider, which of course it is this is confirmed, and this is a reference to Tomb Raider. Obviously, both of them appearing in PlayStation 1 as as huge PlayStation mascots and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool to get to see. Ooh, and this is actually, I think this is probably my favorite level in Crash Bandicoot Warped, due to how challenging yet fun this level is. You have to wait for the water to kind of like drown down, while having to avoid enemies like this bastard right here with spikes and stuff like that. And kind of a little challenging. Yeah, I do love how you can kind of like go from platform to platform. And now I have the tornado spin. Take that, bastard. Alright, let's go from Aku Aku. And the shiny beetle, why is he super shiny? Is he like roboticized or something? Because I've never seen an animal or an insect that shiny. He obviously has some secrets that we may not know. Ooh, super scary, yet carry. Alright, get that little life. Ooh, I'm gonna drown. I drowned. Oh my god, I have to start all over again. And the checkpoint was almost there, dude. Checkpoint was almost there. Now, you know, the green gem path, you know, was originally going to be like the purple gem path. But, you know, they changed it to the tomb time. Did the little switcheroo that they always do. And, oh crap. And I do love, you know, the new, the new figures that they're releasing. It's called NECA figures. You know, I mean, at least the company that is making it's called NECA. They're making, you know, these Crash figures, and the first one they released is actually absolutely amazing. I pre-ordered it day one. I'm making a review out of it, of course, and you know how it looks and everything, the amount of detail they put into it. And today, obviously, I guess it's right now it's let's see, Saturday, February 17, 2018. By the time you're possibly watching this video, is kind of like more than that. But, you know, during that time, which I'm in right now, they released pictures of new Crash figures. And before we talk more about this, I do want to add how people were actually complaining about how the water looks in this. Because it does look really kind of different from other water, how water looks. Like, look at this. Like, it looks really different. And also, you can kind of see like the amount of detail they put in the you know how the water kind of goes up and down, and you know kind of does like the little effect. You can see the one I'm spinning right now, the little washed out, you know, type of building over here, little kind of like burned type of thing. Do love that detail they did, but obviously a lot of people wanted to see something different. Instead of that, they wanted to have like little holes that kind of like dripped water and stuff like that. I still love this, you know, because it stays true to the original, but I guess people wanted to have like holes, you know, for like water to come out and kind of like show a bit of more realism. And that's the funny thing, is that I thought, you know, Vicarious Visions was going to do that, since, you know, how, you know, realistic Crash's physics are, you know, and stuff like that. You know, how heavy he is, and you know how controlled the jet ski and everything is. So, you know, that's like a missed opportunity, Vicarious Visions. If you were, you know, really going for realism, that's a missed opportunity you did. Now we're here with Dr. Engine's boss battle. There you go, Tomb Raider, Dr. Engine. Also, I'm not sure if you can see it, but there's like a little glitchy type of thing, you know, kind of. Okay, come on, wait. Oh yeah, you can't see it anymore. But I think after this boss battle, I'll show you. Now let's go to Dr. Engine, and this is indeed the first time, and I guess the only time for the original. Oh damn, you saw that? What the hell? That's super creepy, dude. Like, freaking Engine was like from the back, and then like he suddenly just came out of nowhere and kind of like zoomed in and zoomed out. That's something new they kind of added, I guess. But anyways, as I was saying, this is like the first time and kind of like the only time you get to play as Coco, you know, to fight a boss battle. I mean, not really like the first time you get to play as Coco, but like the first time you have Coco to fight a boss battle. Now, they actually changed this boss battle a lot. And by what I mean is, like, you know, the amount of detail they did with, you know, Coco's how she's shooting, you know, the little bullets, I guess you can say, or lasers. Do love that. Now the other thing that they changed is how this boss battle works. So in the original, there was not too much space, you can say, while fighting this boss battle. It was kind of like limited. I guess like the hitbox was limited and stuff like that. But over here they kind of expanded more, and I do love how, you know, we're traveling from the moon to like Earth, so you know we're pretty far as how things go. Just defeated Dr. Engine's belly button. I just defeated a little gun type of thing. Now he only has his fist. Come on, we should do like a little fist fight. Come on, come on, come on. Ooh. And this boss battle is actually easier than the original. I am not gonna lie, it is really easy. And now he is going for the second verse. People have actually thought that was like it. And I do love the little cutscene where Pura helps out of nowhere. In the original trilogy, I obviously did not know Pura was actually, you know, with Coco, but over here they make it super obvious. And I do love how Pura goes more into action, and you know, instead of you riding Pura all the time, you know, she obviously helps you this time. Also, is that gonna explode anytime? Alright, that's cool. Alright, let's try to defeat these parts. Come on. Ooh, engine. Now this is like obviously the hardest part in the original, and I guess in the Sane Trilogy as well. Also, like the little oh, there you go. Yeah, those little things that, you know, are super hard to stop. You know, in the original, it was a completely different design, and I actually thought it really looked like one of those gems that you collect, those, you know, dark gems. That's what I thought it looked like. I was like, damn, Dr. Engine shooting them dark gems. Come on, open up wide, open up in the name of the law. Ooh, Dr. Engine, you're getting screwed, dude. Come on. And we're going back to Earth, baby. I wish there was like a final button or something where you get a, you know, kind of shoot Dr. Engine, you know, in the center to finish him off, I guess. Of one final blow. And we are finished. Do love that little chemistry with Coco and Puro, how they teamed up and stuff like that. Kind of wish, you know, they they do that for like a future Crash game, you know, Pura and Coco again, and then, you know, Crash and Polar or Baby T, because, you know, Crash does have two kind of mascots now, not Pura, but Baby T and Polar. What is Crash? Oh my god! How freaking Uka Uka just controls Cortex all the time. Like he just freaking. Wait, why does Uka Uka have to like go into Cortex's face all the time? That's what I don't get. Alright, I guess that was that. Also, I do hate how like Crash is just standing there for like a split second. They really do need to fix some of the glitches, because I mean the original did have a few glitches, but not as bad as these. But you know, these ones aren't really bad, but they really do need to fix it. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching my part 4 of my Crash Bandicoot Sane Trilogy Let's Play of Crash Bandicoot Warped. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.